live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. F it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nintendo Talk Live. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by, I wouldn't say my best friend in all the land. I wouldn't say the greatest co-host in all podcasting, but one of my very good friends from the Midwest, Todd Oxtra. How are you doing, sir?
Howdy ho, Bobby. Oh, it's so wonderful to have frenemies together again.
Okay, okay, so you were on the Geekcast, right? Before, yeah,
yes, long time ago. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't brought anybody on Nintendo PlayStation other than Joseph Moran the one time that replaced Toby, but you've never been on a podcast with Toby before.
No, I haven't.
No, I gotta make that happen one day because he's so antisocial. It's hard to get people on the show with him. He gets so upset when I say that, so that's why I like to say it a little bit more than I can. But for those that don't know, Todd, let everybody know like where they can find you, who you are, what you do, all that good stuff on the interwebs.
Yeah, I'd like to think of myself as kind of like a godfather to the Nintendo Guru because
is that what it is?
When I found you swaddled in a crib floating down the river, I picked you up and I said, "Bobby, would you like to come on our podcast? Because I've seen you on YouTube, and we've fretted over the Nintendo voice chat groups.
Yeah,
would you like to come? Would you like me to swaddle you in my bosom and bring you forth to the world of podcasting?"
Oh Lord,
and that's how it all began, Bobby. But no, I really, you and I, kind of battle sometimes about Nintendo, but I love talking to you because I value your opinion, and I think it's so much fun. And then sometimes I'm the devil's advocate, but we met each other, and I thought you would be a great guy to have on the Secret Friends because I do a podcast called the Secret Friends Unite podcast. It's more comic book, movies and TV related, and we both have something in common. You and I are big DC fans, so I thought you would be a great advocate for DC because there's a lot of DC haters right now. So.
Oh, especially Charlie. Charlie does not like DC, man.
No.
But I can say this. The times that I've been on your show, he's been very respectful, and he's critical, but he's not like just bashing just for the fun of bashing. So I can respect that a lot with Charlie. So we'll see how it is. But Ultra, hello, Cola Break, how are you doing tonight? So the idea of the show here is we don't have a format. We just kind of free flow, and we kind of just go over some stuff and talk about Nintendo and all that good stuff. I guess my question is, why do you hate Nintendo so much? That would be...
Wow, Bobby, how long is this show?
It's an hour, approximately an hour. We can go a little longer if you need a little bit more time.
No, I it's funny because my origins begin with an odd little system called the Atari 5200, which wasn't that great.
No.
That's where I started. That was my first system. It was the first system with analog sticks, and they're horrible. And I was ravenous for a better system. I also had a Commodore 128 back in the days with early PC gaming. It was horrible. I mean, just bad, not very good. But my neighbor, he got an NES. It was the system basically with the Zapper Plus, Rob the Robot. Mm-hmm. And I was so jealous. And I would go to his house. Didn't really like the kid that much, but I would go to his house. And somehow, Bobby, I convinced him to sell me his Nintendo system. Don't know how.
For how much?
I think it was like $80.
Oh my God!
You
ripped this kid off.
Oh my God! Well, he got it from like a flea market. I don't know how he got it from a flea market.
Yeah.
And this is like 1986, right around that time. So,
dude, it was the hottest thing back then.
I know, it's so crazy because I'm like, I can't believe how awesome and real video games look. Look at this thing. Oh my God. Yeah. Because I remember, playing in the arcade, like the Player's Choice with Super Mario Brothers and those games, and it was just amazing. Even so I love that. So, I love the NES, and it's funny because I'm that odd kid that I love Super Mario Brothers 2, Zelda 2, and Castlevania 2.
I'm with you.
Better than the original games.
I don't know that I love them better than the original. Well, Super Mario Bros. 2, yes. Super Mario Bros. 2 is my favorite Mario side-scroller of them all. That is just something about it. I love that game. Zelda 2, I love a lot. Wouldn't say it's my favorite. I wouldn't say it's. I like it more than the first. And then when you look at Castlevania 2, that probably is my favorite Castlevania. Like, that was a really good game, man. And it was crazy back then because you expected. So I remember. This is nuts. I remember Christmas Eve. My dad's best friend comes over, and I want Super Mario Bros. 2 so badly. But if you remember when that all went down, like, they were backordered. That and Zelda 2 and Super Mario Bros. 2 were the games that made pre-orders begin, because you could not get those games at all. These were the amiibo back then, and thankfully games got much easier to get, because it used to be nuts. Like, you had to pre-order games because of this. So I remember Christmas Eve, my dad's best friend coming over, and me just wanting Super Mario Bros. 2 so badly. And I had just had a feeling my parents weren't up on things to get it. You know what I mean? And I knew I wasn't going to get it. And here's my dad's best friend, like, saying to me, like, let me guess, you want Super Mario Bros. 2, don't you? And I was like, oh, so badly. And he's like, I can tell you what Nick's getting, and that's his son. And I'm like, you son of a... And I'm like, Christmas Day comes, I open my presents, no Super Mario Bros. 2, no Zelda 2. We did get some good games. I think my dad bought my brother Tecmo Bowl, which I fell in love with Tecmo Bowl. And there was just a bunch of different games that we got that Christmas, but not the one that I wanted. And drove me bananas, man. But it wasn't because they didn't want to get it for me. They just couldn't find it, and it was just like nuts that's the way games were back then. But I remember, if you go on YouTube right now and look up 2020 with John Stossel, and it's something like Crazy for Nintendo or something like that. Like, I remember taping that episode as a kid and watching it over and over and over again. Not because I wanted 2020 or anything. I just wanted to watch Mario and Zelda clips. That's all. And that was the only way you could get that stuff back then. You know what I mean? It was like, this is nuts, So I'm through the roof, man. I'm with you on that game. So the one thing that I love about you, it's not so much you, it's your son, Logan.
My goodness.
I love Logan.
Should I go get him and just have him sit in for the whole podcast?
Yes, just have Logan come in. We can talk Splatoon 2 and all that stuff. But no, seriously, like, I love the fact that your son is a huge Nintendo fan. And, like, he loves Nintendo and loves, Splatoon 2 and all that stuff. I love and I do this on purpose. When you get into rants and stuff, I'm like, can you just go ask Logan what he thinks about this? Like, we'll be in Facebook groups, and Todd will start ranting about, like, voice chat or something crazy that he doesn't want and he hates, and I'll just come in and just be like, Todd, but what does your son think? Because that's the true Nintendo fan of the house. Todd gets, like, it shuts him down every time. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, and my son is so weird because I guess he's lucky that he has me for a dad, Bobby.
Of course.
That really, I always have to own all the systems just because I want to at least be, have all the experiences because I love that. I always feel bad for people that only own one system because I feel like there's so many cool experiences out there. And I just, hey, whatever you love. And Logan is kind of like, he's spoiled. He's got everything. So he's agnostic. He doesn't care. Right now he's playing my Android tablet and playing like Clash of Clans, where he could be playing Destiny 2. He could be playing, Mario Odyssey. He could be playing anything under the sun. That's what he's playing. So it's so bizarre.
It's funny.
And he has 85 versions of Minecraft, Bobby. 85 versions.
He's a kid of my own heart. I love it. I used to sit there and watch kids play Minecraft and go, why? Why is this? No, I don't want this. And then next thing you know, I'm like sitting there and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. This game is really good. It's nuts. It's nuts. I asked for an Xbox One for Christmas, so I'm praying I get one.
The Onyx, as I call it, or the 1S.
Just the 1S. And okay. I've had this conversation numerous times. I've never played an Xbox before. I just don't know that I'm going to love it. and I don't want to shell out $500 for something that I might not enjoy. So my feeling is I'll get the S, and if I like it a lot, I'll go buy the X, and then I'll just move the S over to my wife's TV, and she could play on her TV, and then I'll play the X on my TV, and I'll be fine. That's my game plan. Anyway, if I have a feeling I'll like the X. Or, I mean, I'll like the Xbox One. But that's neither here nor there. Right now, I don't even know that I'd have time to play it, to be honest with you. Like, I'm living in Nintendo World right now, and I'm loving every second of it. I haven't stepped off Nintendo Island at all this year. Like, it's crazy. I've tried to a couple times, but there's just so much stuff that I'm playing that I can't get enough of it. But my question to you would be this: so Mario came out yesterday. What is your take on Odyssey?
My take is it's going to be very hard for me to share that system with my son.
I love it.
And I'll give you a little bit of a background, Bobby. So when your kid hits about 11, and I'm probably late to the party, cell phones and smartphones come into play.
Yeah.
It's peer pressure. They got to have it, whatever. Yep. So, and he also in school, they gave out iPads this year. It's pretty cool. Okay. It's a cool learning device. Hey, I'm not going to be that guy. But I know how kids are. Kids destroy everything. So he got his mom's iPhone 5S because she was getting a new phone. 2 weeks later, dropped in a puddle. Of course. So I guess what I did? I'm the cool dad. Got him a flip phone.
Oh my God!
And he basically says, "Dad, how do you even text?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is how far we've come in such a short period of time."
It's nuts, dude. Did you T9 text?
Oh yeah, for a short period of time.
Dude. Yeah, I did. I used to be so fast. I was like, "This is nuts." My mom used to be like, "Well, how? Just spell the word, Mom. Just spell the word. It's beautiful."
A, B, C, boom.
Not that, but like the T9 just.
Oh yeah.
Like, you just hit the letters. Like, it was crazy. But
So because of that, he actually lost his flip phone, and I was not letting him play Mario Odyssey until he found that phone. Still hasn't found it, but he thinks he knows where it is, so I kind of relented a little bit. It's $25 flip phone, whatever. But holy cow, I'm trying to control the spoilers coming out of that boy's mouth. He's like, Dad, like, no, don't tell me. I want to find out. But man, oh man, and I don't know if you've experienced this. So I played it both handheld and also docked, because those motion controls are very prevalent in the game. I didn't think they were. And you really, I mean, even to use it handheld to do those things, it's pretty hard. So I docked it just to try it with the Joy-Cons, and I don't really love that. It's kind of like playing Mario Galaxy. I never felt like the nunchuck had a great analog stick.
No.
And I just felt like I need to go a little bit further. And I've said this. The number one thing I want from the Switch is I want Pro Joy-Cons. I think you might even said this.
Yeah, we talked about it on If We Ran Nintendo. Absolutely, man.
I just want them, because they're making Joy-Cons, in every color. Ad will probably next. Just mock up the Pro Cons, or whatever we call them, and just make them exactly the same with an analog stick, and just say, we know you can't play with two people, whatever.
Yes,
but just satisfy me.
Put a D-pad, throw a D-pad on it. Give me the bulkier, meatier analog sticks, the bigger buttons, and I'm in. I would love the Joy-Cons like that. And I really don't need the buttons to be this big. Like, I don't need the buttons to be that big. I'm fine with, but I want the D-pad, and I want these big, meaty analog sticks on there, because I feel like when I'm using the Joy-Con, it just feels a little loose, feels a little flimsy, and I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that. Although I played Zelda with it like that, and I had no choice, so I did, and I ate it up, man. I will play that way, but I prefer not to play that way. If I agree.
I agree. Yeah. It's just the motion controls are part of the experience, because if you want to do the down throw, the up throw, or the roundabout, I guess you would call it, that kind of requires a little more precision versus using the whole thing. But man, oh man, Bobby, I beat Zelda. I enjoyed Zelda. I had some gripes with it. I'm kind of I would say I had some problems with Zelda, but with Mario, this is the reason I bought that Switch, because I'm like, if this game was not announced, I probably would not have bought the Switch, because it was. Because I could have played Zelda on the Wii U and been okay with it. I mean, it'd been fine, because the experience didn't change that much, except on the go, of course. But with Mario, we have not had a Mario game like that. And that was my favorite game on the Wii U, actually, was 3D Land. And so this is why I was so excited, because I love 3D Mario games. Actually, I've never beaten Mario 64 because I never really owned an N64.
Wow.
And I tried to play it on like Virtual Console, but
No,
I know
that's
you
no good.
said I know, and you said that
That's
too,
no
and I'm
good,
like,
yeah.
that's a game that deserves a remake or a remaster, whatever you call it, with modern concepts, because the gameplay is solid. It's just it just lacks something with because that's the first game that really
The camera's a little wonky. I mean, look, I would prefer that they updated the graphics along with it, but if they didn't want to update the graphics, I'm fine with that. Just update the camera. Make the camera be a swing camera like we get with now. You know what I mean? Where I can use a twin stick like this, Pro Controller, like that, and then no problem. I'd be good with that. But it is what it is. Yeah, I was playing tonight I was only going to jump on for like an hour to stream it. Next thing I know, I look up, it's 3 hours I've been streaming. I'm like, holy crap. Like, I love this game. And I wasn't going to stream this game at all. I felt a little awkward streaming it. I prefer to stream multiplayer games so I can have the community jump in and play with me. And so I was sitting there, and my wife was getting ready to hand out Halloween candy because they were doing trick-or-treating today where I live.
Wait, what is this odd world where they do Halloween not on Halloween, brother?
I don't know, man. It's this town. The whole town's upset with the mayor. They're like flipping out. Like, I'm like, you guys got better things to worry about. Like, just take the kids out and do what you got to do. Like, stop it. But regardless, so she's getting ready to go. She goes, are you going to play again? I'm like, yeah. She goes, why don't you stream it? I'm like, I don't know. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll go down and stream for a little bit. Do 3 hours a little bit. And I'm like, so in love with this game. Like, it's crazy, dude. It is so nuts. First off, it's gorgeous. Like, it looks so good. Like, there's times where you see, like, the cap and you see, like, the stitching on the cap. And it was like, I get it during the trailer. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, like, the trailer is a trailer. I get it. I didn't expect it to be able to see it during the game. And I was like, holy crap, dude, you can see it. And then the fact that, like, I'm scanning an amiibo, like I scanned in this Bowser amiibo today, unreal. Unreal, dude. It gives me this suit when I scanned it in. And I was like, yes, yes. Sparvy, what is up, man? How are you doing? Real quick, let me hit the chat. John Thomas, yes, you should get Final Fantasy 15 for Xbox One. Absolutely get it. Aaron Daughtry, is this better than Zelda? That's, you know what, I want to complete the game before I make that judgment call. Right now, they are so close, it's not even funny. And because the thing is like, you're going to say this is the better game. I know that, because you weren't a huge fan of Zelda. You liked Horizon better than Zelda.
Not true.
No? You like Zelda better?
I haven't been able to get back into Horizon. I felt like I was kind of stuck. Yeah.
Well, it was a while ago when you made comments, so it might have been the way it was coming off at that time.
I think it has a better story than Zelda, but there's some things that just, it's hard for me to go back to that game.
Yeah, but for me, I loved Zelda, so this is difficult, man. I've been the person see, this is my fear. This has been my fear all along, all year long, that Mario and Zelda were going to be so good that they're not going to win the Game of the Year. And that's going to be a travesty. Because I feel what's going to happen is this. I've said it numerous times, and I'll say it again. In a situation like an IGN, you're going to have people arguing Zelda, Mario. And then you're going to have a bunch of people that are just going to go Horizon. And Horizon's going to get the most votes. And if you took the votes from Mario and Zelda and just gave them to one of them, they couldn't even compete. They wouldn't even come close to competing. But because the fact that they're stealing votes from each other, you're going to see that they're not going to win. That's my gut. That's my fear. But this game is so good, man. I saw that it got a lot of 10s. What I've seen so far, it definitely deserves a 10. That's what I've seen so far. I haven't played the whole game to completion. But if I had to say, like, right now, does it deserve a 10? Pretty damn close, man. It's pretty spot on to perfection, if you ask me. Like, I'm just floored by how good. The controls are perfection. Like this, man. I look at the games that are hitting the Switch, and I'm like, if Nintendo had these games on the Wii U don't die. Like, we're still playing the Wii U, honestly. So,
Bobby, what's your opinion on that? I was thinking about this today, and in a way, I kind of feel like I'm not sure exactly when Nintendo started pulling support from Wii U, but to have the games that they've got lined up, the support that they've got lined up, I mean, they've got, I mean, excluding Smash Brothers, really? Mm-hmm. I mean, people could say Pikmin, whatever, but Smash Brothers, really? I mean, that's the only major, huge game that they really have not launched for the system. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think, honestly, and I'm going to be honest with you, Todd, I feel that... So if we rewind to, I think it was 2014, they announced Zelda, they announced Splatoon, they announced Yoshi's Woolly World, they announced all these big games, right? I think Mario Maker was the next year, I think. So they announced all these big games in 2014, and then I feel like when they had Smash hit that year, and it really didn't move the needle. I think at that point, Nintendo just went, okay, we have to change something. We have to fix this. This is not working. And I feel like that's the minute they went, this Zelda game is not going to hit the Wii U. It'll hit the Wii U, but it won't hit when we say it's going to hit. We're going to start moving stuff. We're going to start getting stuff prepped. Oh, that next Mario game you're working on? Okay, you're going to make it here. We're going to move it right along. I really believe that, because think about it. If the Wii U's still alive, we're playing Odyssey on the Wii U, essentially. But we're not. We're playing it on the Switch now. So I just feel like at some point in 2014, 2015, in that right after E3, probably after Christmas, so I'd probably say early 2015, Nintendo was just like, okay, we need to move. We need to start preparing for the next direction and to move. Then it just comes out about then that's a whole meeting that Iwata has where they're partnering with DNA and they're going to start doing mobile games, and that's when he slips and says, well, he don't slip. It's a calculated slip. He has to do it, because if he just says, we're making mobile games, they're done. They're over. So he has to say, we're working on a new console, codename NX. And the minute the minute he announced that, it was done. It was over, because everybody just stopped caring about the Wii U at that point. And it was game, at that point it was DOA for the Wii U. Now, I also feel it was the smartest move they made, because they then make a conscious effort that we're going to now, at some point, eliminate 3DS as well. And now our split development teams aren't that way no more. Now we have everybody working on games for one console. It's a mobile and a home console, so that's the advantage. But now you have the ability to. We could essentially see another Mario game in 2 to 3 years.
Why not? Just like Zelda.
Yeah.
You've established a fantastic engine. Yeah. You've got the technology. It's really and are people always expecting something 100% different with every version of these series? I mean, we got Galaxy 2, which basically iterated, and it was fantastic. Yeah. People didn't complain. No. We got what Ocarina of Time and then Majora's Mask. Mm-hmm. People only complained, I think, because the gameplay, the time mechanic, and things like that were different. Yeah. But I don't think people complained because it had the similar assets and similar spaces. So I think the mindset that getting more than one Mario 3D platformer, getting more than one Zelda 3D game on a system is never a bad thing. Just think of the Wii U. You got 3D World, kind of felt like 3D Land, a sequel. You only really got remasters of Zelda to carry through until Breath of the Wild was basically at the very end. So that's where I felt like Wii U missed out, because it really didn't have a lot of original things except for 3D World and Splatoon and a few other pieces. But I think those were the true, these are the things that Wii U was really unique about and brought forward. And that's where I kind of felt like, at this point, I mean, they can really, and this is why I'm so excited about Nintendo at this point, because they can say, yep, we brought all the things you're expecting. Now this is, and I think even the CEO even said that expect new IP to continue to lead the charge, which I'm so excited because I'm not a huge Splatoon fan. I like what they did, but to me it just doesn't rope me in. But I mean, I want more of that. I don't want. I want crazy new characters, and I've said this before. I don't know if I said this before to you before, Bobby, but Nintendo really doesn't have a lot of female lead characters, and with Splatoon. Wow. They've got like two of their biggest – people are fawning over the two squid chicks. I don't know what to call them, whatever they're calling. One of the squid girls.
Inklings. Come on, man.
The squiddy chicks. Like, they're banned. But I mean, even Peach, who's probably, one of the most famous Mario characters, has only had like, one game? Zelda really has been Sheik as a lead role. So I'm excited for that. More games.
I would love a Sheik standalone game.
Why not?
I've said that before. Like, I would love to see, like, when people are sitting there going, like, well, like, we should make Link a girl. Why? Like, just, you have Sheik. Like, and, listen, I'm the person that thinks she's badass. Like, I played with her on Hyrule Warriors, and I was just like, yes, give me a game with this girl. Like, she is amazing. Like, that's my feeling. My feeling is take her and push her off to do her thing. And for those that like pushed, oh my God, is it really? Let me see something here. Hold on. Yeah. I gotta change the name. I'm reading the chat. Sorry, Todd. It said that your name came up extra. Like it auto corrected for me. It does it all the time. Todd Oxtra, it goes Todd Extra. Sorry.
I'm the bonus version.
Yeah, you're the bonus version. But for me, I look at that and I go, yeah, man, absolutely. Like, I would love to see, Sheik get her own game. Like, and people that actually played Zelda and played through, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Like, that's not a Link game. That's a Zelda game. That game. Dude, it's a coming of age for her. It shows so much detail on her, in my opinion. Those little snippets just show her becoming this frail, scared young girl to just, I'll call it as it is. She saves Link's life. And, we'll leave it at that. I'm not going to go any further. But, like, she totally, steals the show in my mind. In my opinion, like, she steals the show in that final act. And I was just like, this is amazing. And she locks herself. She locks herself in the castle to save the Hyrule. Like, dude, there's no bigger thing of saving the world than that. Like, she sacrificed herself. So, we'll see. Chris Gentilino says, Breath of the Wild over Odyssey. You know what, though? Here's the great thing. I think that it could go either way, but here we are in a situation where Nintendo has outdone themselves, where you can actually now have people argue this and go back and forth. So how far along in the game are you for Odyssey?
I just got to it's the Mexican skeleton land.
The sand.
Yeah, and it's funny that the craziest thing I've inhabited so far was a cactus. Have you done that?
No, really?
Yeah, you can do a cactus. So there's one cactus you can do. Okay. But the funny part is it gives you like no ability to do anything cool with it. You hop like 4 times and you stop. I'm like, what can I do with this thing? So I'm like totally... And I think maybe because you can go to like those purple, those pools that are poisoned, you can't get through them. Like, well, maybe you can use them, or maybe you can shoot your quills, or no, you can't do anything. I'm like, that's so bizarre, but and to me, that is the genius of this game. And I know everybody said Zelda's so innovative. I'm like, Zelda gave you movement, which I give it. Zelda gave you physics, which I think is fantastic, and I'm hoping they do more with that. And Zelda said, play around with what you got and come up with your own tactics and strategy. Love that as well. I don't think climbing's that big of a deal for me because I kind of felt like where I was climbing, I never found anything that was so exciting to me. And gliding was probably the best part of the climbing aspect because you could then come up with trickery. But for me, the innovation of Mario, and I had this, even the first thing you inhabit is that stupid frog,
Oh, yeah.
the abilities you get are so different with every character you take on. The Bullet Bill. To me, that is genius, and that does more to the Mario franchise and the innovation than I think, because Zelda's going down this path, and it's kind of inherited the open world, which other games have done. But think of how much innovation has been done in the 3D platform in the last 15 years. Not much.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what you can do. And I just love it because there's so much care and the fact that there's, I don't know, is there 600 to 800 moons? I can't remember what they said.
It's up there. I know that.
To me, that's more exciting than finding stupid Koroks. I'm sorry.
The Koroks were horrible. That was stupid.
That was monotonous. It was just like everybody's like, yeah, I do it. I'm like, that sounds horrible. It sounds like you're just going through something because you feel obligated or you wanted to get that 100%. But for me, the moons, those are fun because I feel like there's something. I'm just not lifting up rocks or throwing them in the pools. Yeah. This I feel like is so much fun. I just absolutely love the game.
The thing that amazes me is there is no power up. And what I mean by that is like, typically you get like a mushroom that makes you grow or, gives you a special ability, and that's gone with this game. Like, that doesn't exist in this game. And is that true, Afrin? Afrin Ali said there's 899 moons, according to Game Explained.
Oh my god.
That can't be true. If that's true, man, my life is over.
How do you even track? I mean, if you started the game and didn't even think about that, and then you go back, Bobby, I mean, how do you track?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Alan did that, right?
I did just buy this awesome strategy guide. I guess I could look at it, right, and see.
But are you marking it off? You don't want to.
No. Not at all. I bought this from I bought this from Best Buy. This This thing is gorgeous, man. But
Best Buy's killing it, by the way. Holy crap!
I know, man. Best Buy had like the best stuff in here. It was crazy. So the thing is, Todd, I went a little crazy yesterday. I went a little crazy, man. I even for me, I went a little crazy. So my story is this: I go to Best Buy, right? Here's my poster, but I didn't get one poster. I got two.
They didn't stop you at the door and frisk you for posters?
No, because I bought two copies of the game. I bought one for me, one for Tony. Okay. It's the first time in my life that I had my wife yelling at me about spoilers because I kept showing her stuff, and she's like, "Stop showing me stuff! Like this is spoilers." I'm like, "The queen of spoilers is getting mad at me? Like, come on!" Like, she knows what's happening now next week's Walking Dead already. So she's nuts. So I turn around, right? I order her a copy because I want a second coin, right? So I got the coin. I wanted a second one because I'm actually going to do a giveaway on the channel. But so I order the amiibo, obviously, but I mistakenly ordered a second set of amiibo.
Did you get the 3-pack or the...
I got the 3-pack. These ones were individual from Best Buy, but I bought the 3-pack that's coming from GameStop. I'm going to give them away. And then, so I'm sitting there, right, and I got all this stuff, and I go over and I see the book. And at first, when I'm standing there, I look over, I see the book. I thought it was just like a little book. And then I said to the girl, "Give me 1 minute here. I want to look at something." She goes, "Oh, no problem." And I run over and I grab the book. I'm like, "Oh, I need this." So I come back, I go, "I need to charge this up." So she's like, "Okay." So I buy it. And I'm like, but when I went over to go grab the book, there was also the Mario Odyssey Switch.
Oh, no.
And I start touching it. And I'm like, I gotta get it. I gotta get it. And I'm like, no. Let me just walk away. Just walk away, you idiot. So I walk away. And I go, I gotta get this thing. And the whole time I'm walking by, I'm like, get it. They had about 6 of them there. I was like, no, you know what? I'm not going to get it. I'm going to go to work. I go back to work. I sit there, and it's haunting on me. And I'm like, why don't I just order it now? I can order it now, do an in-store pickup, pick it up after work. No big deal, right? And I'm like, hold on. I remember Jules Watcham tweeting that he bought the Joy-Cons from PlayAsia. And I was like, you know what? Let me just save $200. So I ordered the Joy-Cons from PlayAsia. I got them coming in. But then I feel guilty because I showed my wife the Joy-Cons. Now I feel guilty.
Oh, no. She wants them too.
No.
Okay.
She wanted the Splatoon Joy-Cons.
Oh.
So I bought her those. So I went a little bit crazy even for me yesterday. Like I spent some money yesterday.
Do you get the discount on the strategy guide?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. Yeah, I only paid like $40 for it. It's $50. I think I paid like $41 something like that with tax. That's Gamers Unlocked, man. That is my go-to now. Honestly, it beats Amazon.
Oh, and did you hear about our favorite Canardian, Mark Carabin? The fact that he's not getting his from Amazon, or I think wherever until Monday or Tuesday.
That's the thing that upsets me. How people look at. I don't know what is going on at all. It's Nintendo products. I think. Okay, so let's rewind a little bit, right? Let's go back, 5 years ago, and Amazon really wasn't selling Nintendo products there,
nope.
Right? They were selling everything else, and you would buy, let's just say Last of Us. You'd buy Last of Us, and there you see people posting pictures where they got it the day before launch, or 2 days before launch, and all excited and posting pictures and all that. And I think Nintendo went to them and was like, look, your system doesn't work for us because we don't want nobody having the games early. And I think what happened is they said, you need to mail them the day before. But the thing that blows me away with Amazon is, so where I live, I just literally ordered Joy-Cons for Tony, right, on Amazon. They're coming from Japan. They will be here tomorrow. Mark Carabin needs to get on the horn with somebody. How in the world does a game that's coming from his country not get there in 2 days? I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all.
Bizarre. Very bizarre.
Blows me away. There's something going on that somebody's not talking about. I don't get it.
Well, there was a hard time. I mean, even before, you couldn't even buy 3DSs or Nintendo Wii U's or through Amazon. So I don't know what caused that rift. And it's kind of crazy and bizarre. And I actually have an Amazon warehouse, distribution center, probably 10 miles from my house. They just built it. So, but I'm still not part of the Amazon Now delivery system, which makes no sense. I'm I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. I gave them 2 chances. My Switch, they almost botched my Switch. Almost. I called and I flipped out. But my Zelda and my Bomberman came the next day. I literally went to GameStop and bought a second copy because I was like, there is no way that I'm not playing Zelda day one on my Switch. So, and then I bought ARMS, and that didn't show up. And I was like, you know what? Screw you, man. I'm done. I'm done with you guys. It ain't going to happen no more. So, I actually had Odyssey. I've had Fire Emblem Warriors, Odyssey, Splatoon 2, FIFA. There was one other game that I'm missing. Mario Rabbids. 5 games, all pre-ordered through Amazon. Mind you, I pre-ordered these things, most of them, back when the Switch launched. I pre-ordered all of them. I canceled every single pre-order, and I started doing it through Best Buy because I get the same discount, and I get rewards for buying from them.
Definitely.
And I definitely get them day of because I got in-store pickup, and the store is literally 2 minutes from my house.
Yep.
So it's like win-win, man. Win-win. A game like this, no, Mark. You need to wake up. You need to be at the store picking it up. Like, this is nuts. Like,
and did you see, Bobby, that Best Buy was also doing? You got the certificate, the $10 certificate, on the digital download out of Best Buy as well.
Yes.
I'm like, that is fantastic.
Yeah, man. That's the thing. Like, you get the Gamers Unlocked discount, plus you get a $10 gift certificate.
Yeah.
How are they making money? I don't understand it. Like, in 2 years, it'll be closed up.
They assume it's you, Bobby, coming in, buying all the amiibo, all of the everything else with it.
Yeah. I talked to Mark one time about it, and he was like, because they don't need to do any of the research and anything like that. They know they have you. They got you locked in. So it's a win for them. Like, because apparently they stopped doing advertising and stuff, like major advertising and all this crazy stuff. And the money they're saving there, they're giving it back to you. So that way they ensure that you come back in the store. And it's working because I'm buying everything from them.
Yeah, and everybody that has it is raving about it, so they're obviously getting free advertising out of us too. Because I mean, everybody talks about it. Versus did you see GameStop? They had their new $30 Elite, and you still get none of the same benefits. It's like, I think you get 30% off used. It's just a joke.
Yeah, GameStop has to figure out what they're doing too. They're having a little bit of faux pas, and then we're definitely losing. I think Toys R Us is going to be in bad shape as it is, as that moves forward. Target is just Target. They, I think they stock this stuff just to stock it, not necessarily for any major reason. What are you looking forward to for the remainder of the year? Anything coming out for Nintendo that you're...
So, yeah, that's the hard part for me. For me, the game that I really wanted to play on the Switch has been delayed, and that is Battle Chasers Night War. Not sure what caused it. Apparently it was a Unity bug or something like that. Mm-hmm. But that's another example of a frustrating thing in my head that I've heard the game is like 7 to 8 gigabytes download on PS4, but they're still charging $10 more for the Switch version. And I've asked them on Twitter, like, what's the rationale? Are you getting something cool in the packaging? What is it? And they said others publishers have done this. And we're fine. I feel that's a cop-out. Yeah. So I'm a little frustrated with that. But I still want to play that type of game on the go. So I'll probably still buy it and I'll get it from Best Buy, get my 20% off and go with there. The other game that I'm excited about, I was going to Wolfenstein 2. I will probably play that on the Switch unless it's completely horrible, but Doom has shown that it looks like it's a great fit for if you're on the go, it's a 6-inch screen. My eyes aren't that great that I'm going to be able to tell that from my 4K 65-inch TV that I'm not getting a 4K experience from because I still have an old PS4. Yeah. So I think that would be a lot of fun, although once again, I really want good Joy-Cons for it. So I'm a little frustrated with that. But the Pro Controller works for me. Yeah. But I also, like a kid, I have to worry about what he can see me play. Yeah. So that's another thing. So that's a little dicey. And I did sell my Xbox One S, and I got myself a gaming laptop because I needed a laptop for podcasting and things like that. It just made more sense for me because all the games on Xbox are also on PC these days. So that's me. Yeah. But, the game, obviously, the saving grace for me is Metroid because I'm not really that interested in Fire Emblem Warriors at all. And it's funny because I'm that kid, guy, whatever, that I'm not into Smash Brothers, not into Mario Kart. I'm not into Pikmin. I'm not into Pokemon. I'm not into Animal Crossing. So it's like there's very few franchises that I love of Nintendo, but it's Mario, it's Zelda, and Metroid for me, which I really love. And when they took chances, that's when I loved them as well, because GameCube is my favorite Nintendo system because they had Eternal Darkness. They secured Resident Evil 4. They did all these cool things, and I thought, God, that's so cool and so neat. And if they gave Smash Brothers a story mode, and I know you guys were talking about this. Who plays the story mode in fighting games? I do.
I loved the story mode in Smash Brawl, on the Wii. Like, I liked it. I love Subspace. Like, I thought that was amazing. I liked how it had all the different characters coming into the world and doing all. It's just cool how they intertwined the whole storyline. I don't know, man. I look at some of the decisions of some of these game makers and I wonder, like, just because other people did it don't mean that's not a reason to do it. Like, be the different guy. Be the person that goes, you know what? We know. Here's the problem I feel like Nintendo takes a good percentage of money from the consumer, or from the developer when they sell a game. And then you throw it on top of this stuff with the whole situation that you're going to have to pay for the cartridges and all that stuff. Like, I get, like, it's cutting into their profits. And I guess they look at it and go, like, hey, man, we gotta do something here. So, Crashy just asked, I wonder if Guru gave Pocket Camp already a go. Yeah, I did. I downloaded it from Australia. Absolutely. Like, I love Animal Crossing. Like, it's nobody's business. Ignore Todd Oxtra when he says that he doesn't like it. He doesn't have good taste. I don't know what to tell you.
Bobby, I've said that Animal Crossing is Nintendo characters dressed up as furries as The Sims in Farmville.
That's fine with me, man. I'm good with that. I love it. So,
I will give it a go. Yeah. But everything I saw in that trailer, I'm like, I don't know how I could do anything but be fall asleep after doing that. Collecting stuff, it's chores.
It's weird.
I totally get you. You loved it because you grew up to because the arcade games are the Nintendo games inside of it. So kind of that was the hook.
Used to be originally. Yeah. Now,
but I think this is a perfect fit for mobile because I'm like, what do you do in Animal Crossing that really requires like either Twitch controls or anything like that? Seems like and mobile phones, quite honestly, are strong enough to do whatever Animal Crossing is putting out because. Those aren't like high detailed HD textures. It's pretty basic.
No, it's pretty basic, and I'm hoping that they're working on something more HD when the Switch version comes. Like when I looked at Mario Kart 8 when they did that DLC track, like that's what I want. I want Mario Kart or I want Animal Crossing that looks like that. Like I literally just wanted to park my car and just get out and start running through the town. I didn't want to race no more. I was like, don't put me in this track. I love the track. I love the music. I love everything about it. I want this game. I want to play this game. So, but for me, like I look at Pocket Camp and I'm like, this is really awesome. Like I really like it. I played it for 2 days and I stopped playing it. And the only reason I stopped playing is because I want to link my Nintendo account to it. I want to do all that stuff to it. I can't do that with the Australian one. So it was enough for me to try it, check it out, and then move on. And then that's all we're going to leave it to. Arfin. Man, why can't I pronounce his name? I'm from New Jersey. I'm illiterate. Don't take any offense to my faux pas or your name.
They do Halloween on the weekends.
Yeah.
What else do you have to know?
I know, it's a mess. It says Todd has a poster of Cap Kingdom on his wall behind him.
No.
And he's just joking.
You know what that is, right,
I know
Bobby?
that is. Yeah, the Nightmare for Christmas.
Of course.
I got you.
Oh, my goodness. And we're in a Halloween shirt, if you can't even say it. Keep calm and say boo. So there you go.
Exactly. Tommy, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. Got so many people. Sheldon Benedict is here. What is up, man? He said Animal Crossing is life. Todd doesn't understand that. He just, he's a fool when it comes to that. Patrick from Nintendo Talk. Joe after work is here. How you guys doing tonight? I think for me, when I look at games like Wolfenstein and all that coming, it makes me happy because I'm just like, man, this is the Nintendo I want. I want to see like a lot of people coming over and having exciting stuff to play. And like the fact that Wolfenstein will be here probably early 2018 is pretty impressive. And it's even more impressive that it's the game that you got, that everybody's getting on the PS4 and the Xbox One. Like that's pretty awesome. Like I like that. I like that Nintendo has gone out, got these third parties to start coming on board and doing stuff. So it's hopefully we get more to come as the time moves on. And the thing that I love is like when you look at a successful Nintendo is a Nintendo that brings us everything under the sun. You look at the Wii, right? So when the Wii launched, we got 2 Metroids on there. We got 3 Zeldas if you include that stupid crossbow training game. You got 3 or 4 Marios, because you got the 2 3Ds and you got you got 1 2D. Then you got a bunch of sports games and all that stuff. You got Smash. You got Animal Crossing. You got Punch Out. You got all this crazy stuff coming out that was just nuts. You got Pikmin. You got Pikmin 2. You got all these great games that just kept coming out one after the other. Nintendo being successful right now only means we're going to get a lot of great stuff, I feel. It's almost like you said, they got all this stuff crammed in year one. It's like, how in the world do you compete next year? Like, what did they put out to even combat what they've done this year? But it's the crazy thing, it's just not Nintendo. It's all gaming right now. Everybody has put out phenomenal games this year. And it's like, this is the year of the gamer, man. We're just living it up, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think Xbox is the only one that's missed out, and what I'm hoping we're going to hear from Xbox is they're going to have some new IP that they really need, and they can, really flex some of their muscle with some of their developers that I kind of feel like have been forced to do the Halos and the Gears, and I think there'll be some things. I think Sea of Thieves will excite a lot of people that are really looking for a different experience from Xbox, but Sony's got some unique things that are coming through. But I mean, the fact is that I always say with console holders, don't give me an excuse to buy somebody else's box if you can get them on your box. Because with the Wii U, there was a great game and then 4 months with nothing. And guess what? It gave people an opportunity to go back. And you had Virtual Console to fill that gap, but they don't now. So the fact is, and it seems like the Switch is people are really warming up to non-Nintendo franchises on indie, other things like that.
Right,
exactly, and it's just not the same indies you saw. I know people said Wii U had some great indies. Wii U had a few good indies, but they're now getting some. They're getting all the good indies, which is fantastic. Look at some crappy little stupid things they'll cash in. The Nintendo seal quality. There was still crappy games on the NES, even with that seal quality. But they're getting. I mean, everything. It's not like necessarily a gap where it's a relationship issue. It's not a Nintendo, doesn't allow our games to go on even mature games like what is it, the Binding of Isaac, which is has religious overtones, has poop flinging.
Yeah,
come to Nintendo, why not? And even with Doom, God, could you think of a more of an adult game? Bobby, have you seen some of those things? I played Doom and I'm like, holy crap! I hope my wife doesn't see it. Hope my son doesn't see it because wow. It's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait for Doom.
It shouldn't be and Nintendo's being smart this time. They're letting, and as a parent, let the parents decide.
Yes.
Let people decide.
Yes.
Because I have the controls with the parental controls where I have to turn it off after so long because it says, you can't play anymore. I'm like, oh, crap. So I put in the code. But I'm glad that because, you know what? We're parents. We're mature now. And there's so many of us that grew up with Nintendo and we have kids now that let us control. But Friday the 13th was on the NES, by God.
yeah, it's the truth. Like, when you look back, I'm really hoping that we get a lot more, moving forward from Nintendo. Like, I love the fact that they're inviting all kinds of companies to come over. Like, man, I hope they bring South Park. As crazy as it may, like,
that's another game I want to play on the Switch.
I don't like that game, but they have a good relationship with Ubisoft. They're inviting more mature games. I really think it happens. I think they probably work on a deluxe version, and they give us both games on the same disc or same cartridge and go. Like, I would love to play that game all day long. Like, sign me up, man. That's the game I want so badly. I really thought it was going to hit day and date when they delayed, because I was like, that's why they're delaying it. They're delaying it for the Switch. They wanted to hit the Switch. Can't wait. Which is that an in-house Ubisoft studio that does that game, or is it Obsidian? I can't remember who does that game that does it for Ubisoft. I don't know. I don't know. It might be Obsidian, but I don't. Okay. I can't remember exactly who. But man, I would die to have it on the Switch. Like that would be.
You remember in N64? They had what? South Park Kart Racer. They had another one. It was like a first-person shooter. So I think this myth of Nintendo not having adult games in their system is kind of a joke. I mean, even Bayonetta, Mad World, all those games, Eternal Darkness, the Resident Evil games. I mean, it's just kind of silly that we've kind of think, well, I mean, Nintendo doesn't usually create those games, but they've never said you can't bring Doom to our systems.
No, exactly.
So why not?
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, Nintendo, more or less, has always been the Disney. It's like this. Disney used to own Miramax at one point, and it was like, so it's like they had like their kid friendly stuff that had the Disney label, and then on the backside they had the adult oriented stuff that was going on stuff, and that's the way I think Nintendo needs to keep it. And the one thing that I said was, a while back, I would almost like to see Nintendo get like Disney got back in the 90s and the early 2000s, where you had your classics, right? You had your classic Disney movies back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, all that stuff. And then all of a sudden they started this new line of classics where they started making all these new IPs, Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid and all this stuff. Like, they did all these movies that came. I would love to see Nintendo start doing that. Like, you had Splatoon, you did ARMS, do another one. Like, every year, release a brand new IP. And then, you know what? In 10, 15 years from now, you won't even have to rely on the Zeldas and the Marios and the Metroids and all, because you'll have your new breed that'll be, honestly, it'll be bringing the young kids, you're giving the younger generation something new now. And then moving forward, when they get to be our age, they're going to be looking and like, hey man, this is the franchise that I love. And then, you know, you have it across the board. Like, I think that you definitely have the ability to be able to just take one simple studio and just go, your job is to put out new IP. That's it. That's all we want from you. Because I think that's what people are clamoring for and craving. We don't get that much anymore. We don't get a lot of new IPs. You know, and it's like, you know, all your games are basically the same. You know, essentially. It's just the world we live in right now. So I would love it.
I agree. If you think about, and I kind of thought about this, N64 was the last Nintendo system where they changed the mold. They went from 2D, whatever, to 3D and gave Mario a new life by giving a new environment. Ocarina of Time, same thing. And I think of the Switch as that next generation of that. It's the leap forward. And you think of like a developer like a Retro. Is it time for Retro to finally get their own IP? I mean,
there's
something
talks.
new.
There's talks. That's what they're doing.
That'd be phenomenal. Because,
phenomenal.
It changed. I mean, they are largely a Japanese-centric development house. But if you think of Retro, isn't. So what would that mindset be to bring something new? Because I was very disappointed. I know a lot of people love the Donkey Kong Country games. Mm-hmm. Not for me, totally. Yeah. I kind of feel like those are like the Dark Souls platformers.
They're tough, man. They are tough.
They are, and I don't really actually like the way they control. I kind of feel it's kind of sloppy, but that's just me.
The problem. That's what makes them tough. Is the control's not like Mario is the pristine. Like that's it. Like you nail your jumps, everything's perfect. That's the way it is. And then Yoshi and Kirby and Donkey Kong kind of have their own little feel for it. But if you want to play a game that feels wrong, play Yooka-Laylee. Holy cow. I don't care if anybody says, I tried that game on Xbox after it got patched. It's like playing Odyssey feels so good. But Yooka-Laylee feels like I'm still playing Banjo. And that's if you want that, but it's still not advanced. So I'm thinking if Retro, and I felt like their talents kind of got wasted by kind of just redoing the same kind of tired and true. And I know people liked it. Maybe it was because they're like, hey guys, we need a game to get out quick because we got to fill these gaps on the Wii U. But the fact is, it's funny. There's a couple studios that I'm so excited to see what they do. Retro, Rocksteady, Sucker Punch. And we have no clue what they're doing. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Man, I hope that when Rocksteady brings their next game, I don't think it's going to be a Batman game. I feel like it's probably going to be a Justice League game.
That would be perfect.
But when they bring it, I hope it comes to Switch. God, I hope it comes to Switch. So badly I want it to be over there. Because I love Rocksteady games. I love the whole Arkham series. And I just want more of it, man. I want more of that type of gameplay and all that stuff. And, like, their games are so... You know what, man? I think I love Arkham, the series, so much because they basically said to me, we know how much you love our games. We know how much you love Batman. We're going to just give you what you want out of a Batman game. And here it is. All the little Easter eggs and all the stuff. Dude, when you're playing Arkham City and you go behind the movie theater into the alley and you find the roses and he kneels down and all of a sudden the camera starts panning and the music starts playing. Dude, if you don't like get glassy-eyed during that, you're not a Batman fan. Like, there's just stuff that they did in that game that me being it took me back to being a 13-year-old boy reading Batman Year One for the first time, and I was like, wow, like they killed it. And I don't want to get into like Arkham Knight spoilers, but man, dude, that game, there was stuff they did in that game, and I was like, oh, thank you. Like, there was stuff that happened in that game, and I can't. You know what? We can't talk. We'll talk about it afterwards.
No,
we'll talk about it afterwards because
I will say, Bobby, Origins. I actually played that. Was Origins that
was the one that wasn't?
I played it. I played it on Wii U and actually enjoyed it a lot. I liked the fact that you could use the tablet to scan. I enjoyed it a lot, and I thought that game had one of the strongest stories actually. So cool. Cool. So and they should bring the collection over to the Switch. Why not? You know,
I don't know why they wouldn't.
They could. Why
they absolutely can. They absolutely can. They should. That HD collection that they did, they should do it, man. I would love for it to be there. One last thing before we go. What like in terms of indie games, what is your style indie game? Like, what is your studio of choice, your games of choice? Like, what genre, what style of indie? Like, what gets you excited?
Wow. Probably the one studio that I know they get overlooked a lot, but I love WayForward.
Oh God, yeah.
They take a crappy license and make it a cool game. That Mummy Demastered that came out has no right to be getting the kudos that it is getting. And it is a Metroidvania. The last game I played on the Wii U was Shantae. That game, the fact that they went from 8-bit style or pixel art to beautiful, animated, quality animation is fantastic. And I just think in my mind, God almighty, there's so many opportunities for that studio to give them some quality work, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because think about this. There's no reason why they can't continue to make cool games that look cool on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Bring them over to the Switch. I wouldn't complain that they didn't look, high end. $20-$30 worth? Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much potential. I mean, I also like Cheer Studios. Do you know Cheer, Bobby? They did Shadow Complex.
Okay.
Holy cow! They were bought by Unreal, and then they were let go. But I mean, they made one of the best 3D Metroid games ever, and it wasn't even a Metroid game. There's I really liked Ori. I don't know if you call that studio indie because Microsoft's been publishing them.
Yeah.
But I like it when indie games and Shovel Knight's probably one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Taking that tried and true, and even though you think, hey, yeah, that's what they could have done back in the day, there's no way they could have made a game like Shovel Knight back in the NES because some of the technology and some of the polish and things they did.
Yeah.
No, and I love that, and I continue the fact that the game that I bought on my Vita, and I beat it on my Vita, which I no longer own, I can now, with cross-save, play it on my PS4 with all the extra stuff that's coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know how they make money. I bought my Shovel Knight amiibo. Well, because those guys are awesome.
I did too. I bought the 3-pack.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, the 3-pack is up on BestBuy.com. I bought them. I'm like, I gotta get them. I gotta get them. They're just, come on, dude. You know I got an addiction. Just look behind me. Like this.
So good.
I'm a mess. I'm a mess with amiibo.
Your house is just full of amiibo boxes, Bobby.
You know what's funny is I said to Tony last night. I go, here I am, and I show her these amiibo here, and I go, I'm at a point where I know I should stop. You know what I mean? Like, I know there's no need for me to continue buying these, but I know me, that the first set that goes by that I let go by, I will be devastated when I can't get it no more, and I'm gonna be like, I should have bought it, because I'm so far along at this point. It's like you can't stop. You know what I mean? Like I have the champions coming. I have, and I have the Shovel Knight ones coming, and like I got this.
Is that it? Is that it?
That's all. That's all that's coming right now. Okay. That's all. I got this stupid Box Boy one right here that I imported from Japan. And
I was wondering what was on your shelf. It's not even opened, Bob.
It's not even open. Well, because I don't open the Bobby, what are you doing, Bobby? I don't open the Japanese ones just because they're Japanese. You know what I mean? Like I have a Rob the Robot Famicom edition. It's just out of view of the camera. That one's not opened. I have this one, and then the Ness and the Lucas back here. They're both Japanese. Now I have the American versions of all of them except for Box Boy, because Box Boy never came to America. I have the Monster Hunter ones now. Now those ones I did open just because cool. those are really cool. Like I just got a sickness, man. I'm really twisted. Like, and it's.
If you panned up, Bobby, is there another shelf above you? Like, if you pan up the camera,
yes,
would there be another shelf?
More, okay, like so you can see, okay. So people could probably see the bottoms. So there's another 2 sets of cases here. I got another 2 sets over there, and I have another case over here on this wall.
Wow.
Plus, I have these boxes, right? So I have glass cases here, right? I've got all my Kirby ones in the glass case. I've got all my Animal Crossing ones in the glass case. I've got a diorama with the Splatoon ones over there. And then on the glass case over on that side, I have all the Monster Hunter ones. I have a real illness.
Well, Bobby, I gotta say this though. That's not even your best part of your collection, and that's probably me and my DC kind of like bias.
What's the
The
best
Batman collection you have? Oh my God!
That bad boy right there.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. There it is. The Joker.
I mean, come on. I mean,
the Joker
Bobby,
is awesome, man.
when you did your preview and you showed what you had, I'm like, I am so jealous. It's
Dude,
so
I've got some
beautiful,
insane Batman statues. Like I used to, man, my God, like it was out of control. It was out of
never
control.
stops, Bobby. It never stops. Batman's been around for how many years, and they're never gonna stop making cool stuff.
That's what Tommy just said. I either have to keep collecting or I have to get rid of them all. And I don't want to get rid of them, so I have to keep collecting them. I even got this. I even bought the Rabbids statue. That's Rabbid Peach. I have all 4 of them now. I started with 2, and I was like, I wasn't gonna buy any of them. Todd, I swear to you, I wasn't gonna buy any of them. And I walked into Best Buy, right? And I went to go buy. I think I went to go buy Mario Rabbids that day. And I walked in the store, and I walked in, and I saw them, and I was like, oh my God, these are amazing. And Tony was just getting ready to go to Disney, right? And I was waiting for her to come over to Best Buy to get something. And I'm standing there in the store holding these 2 boxes. And I'm like, they're weird boxes. And I'm like standing there, and they're almost up to my face. And I'm just like, and she comes walking in, and she just starts shaking her head. And she's like, why did I marry this guy? Like, why did I marry this idiot? And she walks back, and she goes, what are you doing? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I'm lying. I had the Mario, and I had something else. I just had Mario. And I'm standing in line, and I go, I really like the Yoshi. I really like the Yoshi one. She's like, you want to go get it. And I'm like, yeah, let me go get it. And I run to the back of the store, and I get it, I come back up.
Oh, boy.
Just a mess. Just a mess, man.
And the way she looks behind you, Bobby, she looks like she's like the crowning, achievement of your collection.
I love her, man. I love her. I had a Link.
She's super cute.
I had Link Breath of the Wild, like the Archer one, but the bigger statue behind me. And I told Toby I was going to take him down. He's like, you better not take him down. I'm like, I'm taking him down. He's going to put away. I put him over my glass case over there. He's just awesome. So it's dude, it is unreal. I got my Amiibo display case. That's going up probably next week. I have to buy these. It's called Gorilla Racks. Mm-hmm. They're slot racks. They're just plastic. They're plastic pieces. You mount them on the wall.
Yep.
And then you put the slots in, and it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yes, that is going to be. But what I'm going to do with that is, I bought it from Chris Lugo. He's in the Nintendo. He's in the Nintendo Guru Facebook group with us. I bought it from him, and he was like, if I sell it to you, you got to give me all the Mario Party amiibo that are in. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. He's like, you have to. I'm like, why do I have to? And he's like, because I gave mine away in order to get this from somebody, so I don't have them and I need them. I'm like, you're not getting them from me. I'm not doing it. So he's like, come on, man, this ain't. I'm like, nah, Chris, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna happen. He somehow popped it open and pulled them out.
Oh no!
So it's empty, and I'm like, that's fine. I'm gonna actually take all my custom amiibo and put them in there.
So when does the FBI show up and take that amiibo display from you?
I don't know. I paid
probably
for
a GPS tracker or something.
I paid for it. That's all I know. They're popping up all over the place.
Sure. Yeah,
because
they're going
what they
away.
do is they just throw them in the trash, man. I was watching the other day, and this is how I learned how to hang it, because I was just like, I just typed in like amiibo display on YouTube, and these different guys had these, and they had Wii kiosks. And I'm like, how in the world did they get these things? And they're just like, they knew managers, and they were throwing them out. And the one guy got one. He was like, yeah, I called the manager I was friends with. He's like, hold on. And he called back, and he goes, yeah, it's out in the dumpster out back. Go get it.
Wow.
And
In
I'm
good
like,
shape, too?
Well, the television was smashed. It didn't have a Wii, or it didn't have a Wii U in it no more. So he pulled it out of trash anyway. Everything else was perfect. He pulled it out of trash anyway, replaced the television on it, and then put his own Wii U in it, and it works perfectly, and it's fine. That's, to me, that's when you start to get into real collecting. Like when you're actually getting display units, that's when it takes a shift, I feel. Yes, Gorilla Racks. Yep. And then, but that's what happens when you start to collect the display units and stuff. It's a different level, I feel. It takes it to a different place. And I'm not talking about a good place. You're definitely, because you're nuts. You gotta become like insane. You gotta be willing to dumpster dive and stuff to get this stuff. But it's pretty awesome, man. Like to have that piece is like, I remember when I went to Tony, because that thing wasn't cheap. I'm gonna be honest with you, that thing was not cheap at all. And I went to Tony and I was like, I got this guy that wants to sell it. What do you think? And I told her the price. And she turned to me and she's like, well, I'm gonna say two things to you. One, you're the Nintendo guru. 2, you should have it. And I was like, okay. And I went and got it. And that was it. And it was game over. Because she was like, you can't. She's like, this is she's like, that is like an unbelievable piece to have in your room. Like, it just fits everything you're doing. She's like, get it. So, that's pretty much it. That's where we're at. So, Todd, real quick, let everybody know again. How can they follow you? How can they find the podcast you do? All that good stuff. Let them know.
Sure. Well, Bobby, thanks for having me on. This has been fun. We haven't talked in a long time. And actually, preview, Bobby is going to be on our podcast to talk about the Justice League of America movie. So we're very excited about having you on for that.
Yes.
And hopefully it will be, we came on for Wonder Woman, and hopefully the uptick in DC movies is on its way. So very excited for that. But if you want to listen to us in the meantime and just get up to speed, we are a podcast. The Secret Friends Unite podcast, available on all available services, is out there. We are a Facebook group, so if you want to hear more about geek TV, sci-fi, fantasy, even a little bit of video games, join us there. Bobby's a member of that group, a bunch of the guys as well. We don't do a ton of video game talk, so we try to filter people to other services because a lot of good guys are doing a lot of good stuff in that realm. So want to get there. We are also on Twitter at Secret Friends U. Don't do a lot of stuff on YouTube, but we do have a YouTube channel. I just am, super busy, not that talented at it. So because of that, I do put stuff out there every once in a while if I'm streaming. Might stream a little bit more, just some goofy stuff. Like right now I'm playing Resident Evil 7, Bobby. Oh my God. Whew.
Bad?
All I can say is
scary.
It is the best version of a old series coming into its own in the modern age. I love it. It's fantastic. So
what are you playing it on?
I'm playing on PC. I got it for like $20 on PC.
Nice.
It's wonderful. I got a nice widescreen monitor. It's a nice 29-inch widescreen monitor, which is really cool. And my laptop, my gaming laptop, I just shut the screen and just do everything on the big laptop. It's awesome, beautiful. And I'm not a mouse and keyboard guy, so I just use my Xbox controller. So why not? Yeah, it's wonderful. So if I do some of that stuff there, follow us. But I would love if everybody wanted to check out the podcast, because we just did our Halloween podcast that launched this week. We talk about a lot of scary stuff and just some of our memories from the good old days.
Thank you for coming on tonight. It's been a long time coming. I've been meaning to get you on. Next is going to be Ray Osorio.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, because he's also clamoring and thinks that I don't want him on my shows and stuff. So I gotta get Ray on next. But thank you for coming on. I consider you a very good friend, and we've always although we're not like same state thing anymore, because you guys closed down, right? You guys closed the Progresso over here.
We did, yes. Yeah. So sorry about that, Bobby. No more soup for you.
I know, man. What the hell? Sad.
Very
I
sad.
didn't realize like how big it was when you guys closed. Like it put a lot of people out of
it. Did. It was sad. It was sad. It's a changing grocery market is a really crazy market. It's changing. Everyone wants organic everything.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah. It's nuts. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll probably be back in about 15 minutes or so, give or take. I'm going to do some more streaming of Mario Odyssey, so anybody wants to see that, be sure to come back. I just need to let the whole thing reset. I need to, go get some coffee and stuff and get together before we do that. So thank you guys for coming out. Been a great time. Love you guys all. Peace out, Preston.